as someone with a very small YouTube channel, should I be trying to follow all those YouTube algorithm changes all the time? Or should I be making sure all those settings are exactly right for making the best chance of getting seen and being watched? Or should I just be me? Well, you probably realize that the answer is I should just be me, in my opinion anyway. I think it's more important to be authentic, and that may mean a very, very slow channel growth, but the sort of people that I want, and I suspect a lot of people want, are genuine people, people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing. And to be genuinely interested in what you're doing, you have to be genuine yourself. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't try and, just keep up with what's going on with YouTube, but I don't think you should become a slave to it. For some people it's their business, sure. And I can't see any point in the future where it'll be my main business. For me, it's to tell you about the projects I'm doing as a filmmaker, or the projects I'm doing as an actor, and any ups and downs along the way and what's going on. And I'd like to build an audience like that, just sharing stuff with you, and not necessarily in the most polished way. Other YouTube channels have lots of different cuts and different shots and graphics and dialogue across the screen and all that kind of stuff, but it's not me. So if I was to start doing that, I wouldn't feel very comfortable, which means you wouldn't feel very comfortable watching me feeling uncomfortable, because it wouldn't be authentic. So I think you have to be yourself, and if you're not going for a full-time YouTube business, or even if you are, I think the bottom line is, people are buying into you. If you're someone that's facing the camera for your channel. So it's better just to be true. Should I do more about... I got some advice about 6 months ago from a guy, and he manages YouTube channels, and he told me a couple of things to tweak to make sure I'm doing. It was helpful because I didn't realize, but I'm sure if I spent my time watching lots of videos about how to set up a YouTube channel, and there's a gazillion of them, I'm sure I probably could have eventually got there. But the thing is, to be honest with you, I have no interest in all that stuff. What I want to do is make films and act in films and tell you about it, and explain what I'm doing along the way, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, and have some engagement with you. Excuse me. And as far as engagement goes, in my heart of hearts, I don't want a massive YouTube channel. I want to be able to respond to comments. And I think once you get past a certain point, that becomes really, really difficult to do. I remember watching some videos about a year ago, and the person was saying that they make themselves available for an hour after they post their YouTube video to reply to comments, because the YouTube channel is so large that it's just impossible for them to reply to all of them. And I kind of don't want to get that way. I know that sounds kind of anti-YouTube in a way, but for me, a big part of the appeal is for people to comment on what I do. So if I post a trailer for a film I've made, I want people to tell me whether they like it, they hate it, they think it's boring, they think it's great, whatever. And to engage with that, because to be quite frank with you, I learned from that as well. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to have 10 million subscribers. Well, certainly not for a channel like this. If I was doing some sort of, I don't know, history channel or something like that, where you're telling history or geography or science or something like that, then having 10 million followers might be great. But for something like this, where in a way we're kind of making the history as we go along, I don't know. I would have thought that once you get past 10,000 subscribers, I would have thought it would become very difficult to engage in meaningful comments and discussion and feedback with the people who make comments on your videos. I don't know, I'm not there. But that's always for this channel has always been my goal, to try and get to about 10,000. It still is. I know it's not going to happen quickly. That's fine. Because that puts the onus on me to try and get films made, or try and get myself cast into roles, because I know that. And posting about that and posting those films and posting those adventures is the thing which will bring more people in. And the better I make the films, the more subscribers I'm likely to get. So that's the way I look at it anyway. That's the way I want to get subscribers. I don't want to do it by being a slave to the latest algorithm changes. I noticed a very good friend of mine sent me something a few days ago. Someone was posting a video about how they think the YouTube algorithm changed a couple of weeks ago, and people are getting a lot less views and a lot less engagement. And I don't want to be like that. I never want to be like that. YouTube can do whatever the hell YouTube does. I don't want to have that as a concern. I have enough concerns trying to A, survive, and B, get films made, and C, of course, get cast in films. All three of those are difficult, very difficult. So why would I want to worry about the YouTube algorithm? I just keep doing my thing, make the channel about me. And the same kind of goes for the settings, and they tell you to make sure your file name when you upload is on point, and your thumbnail and your tags and keywords and descriptions and all of that. And I understand. But I don't want that to be my focus. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd have someone look after all this for me, and I would just do this part. But the world isn't perfect. So I won't do that. I won't be a slave. If I'm going to be a slave to anything, it'll be to making films and acting. And I like doing this. This is the part I like. Maybe it's partly because of the actor in me, I don't know. But talking to you and telling you what I'm doing, good or bad, is what I enjoy and what I'm doing. And on that, so I don't think we should ever be a slave to YouTube, ever. Just build your audience as naturally as possible. And a lot of people who might see this might think that's very naive, but so be it. I want to live my life, my way. And if this feels the most truthful way of living my life, then so be it. Even if it's not the smartest. Wouldn't be the first time I've gone down that path. Oh boy, that's for another video one day. And yeah, I'm just checking my notes, as you know. I always have some notes and I always forget stuff. Let's just focus on the core audience I've written here. So exactly what I was saying before, I'll just make it for whoever's following, whoever's interested. And if they're interested in indie film or acting roles I might be in, or just me in general, they'll be here. Build a sustainable brand, which is effectively me. And you know, the algorithm, and trying to chase things like the algorithm or what the settings will do to your videos and things like that. It's a dog chasing its tail. It's changing all the time, and you'll just be running around in circles because you're never really going to know what YouTube's doing behind the scenes. You'll only be able to respond to what they tell you or what you notice. Seems to be a lot of the time. It's what people notice that about how things are going on YouTube rather than what they tell you. So, but anyway, either way, who cares? I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be me, do my stuff. Excuse me. On that, trying to get films made and things like that, met a great guy this week. He's going to give me a hand with, I don't know, several videos ago I said I've got 2 shorts I wanted to get made, 2 very short shorts. He's going to give me a hand with them, and he may help with a possible 3rd project. So that's good. That's going to be a bit of a slow burner. We're working on it, and when it happens, it happens. It'll probably happen very quickly. When it does, you know, it'll be sort of chipping away. Oh, we did it. It'll be a bit like that. It tends to be that way. So we've got a few problems to surmount. The usual one is I may run depending on my situation at the time, well, I don't know how we're going to do it, but when we're in a position to be ready, then I'll work out, because who knows? I'm an optimist. I might be in a better position at that point to be able to just do it. So we'll see. What else? I think that's it. I think the bottom line is just to be authentic, be yourself, and if you do that, people will come. Maybe very, very slowly, but just got to keep at it. And, you know, we've all seen those YouTube channels where it's very unnatural, very forced, very, feels like people are making videos because they have to, not because they want to. And I never want to get to that point. Also, you see people making videos where, I mean, I may ramble on, so you could argue that I'm as guilty as anyone else, but for informational videos, like someone's explaining something or telling you some facts or something like that, a lot of them you see, I think I mentioned this a number of months ago, a lot of them you see, you can't help but think, well, that was 15 minutes you could have done in 3. But you kind of dragged it out and repeating things, and you know, I'd support someone making those 3-minute videos far more readily than someone making those 15-minute videos that are just going on and on and on. So at the risk of being one of those people, I think I should probably wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. It'd be great if you could like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and leave a comment or ask a question. I'd love to know what you think. I hope to see you in the next one.